I don't know. I don't know if you've listened in detail to that first live album they put out, right? All the World's a Stage, right? With all their classic songs. Rush was still an up and coming band, you could say back then. They were pretty big in Canada, but out here in the States, they just had a minor radio hit with Working Man. But even back in those days, Alex, Rush already showed the potential as one of the best live bands, right? If you listen to that live album, at least in
Yeah,
my opinion.
absolutely. It's so much of it has to do with the songs themselves, and they always showed up playing it as good or better than the record. And they
Yeah,
have
even in
these,
the early days.
yeah,
Yeah.
they have these creative songs that take you through a journey the whole time live. And on that, there was that also on that metal show, the debate. Exit Stage Left versus All the World's a Stage, and Getty
Yeah.
likes All the World's a Stage better because you can
Yeah, I would
hear,
agree. Yeah.
you can hear more crowd noise and it just sounds more live. So
I,
that's a
I even
really
think the instrumentate the quality of the recording is better. I don't know what it is. I mean, Exit Stage Left is not like a bad album or anything, but for some reason, I think All the World's a Stages has a lot of power sonically. Right.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's the remaster. Maybe, I mean, because the remaster, they did a great job. I never heard like the original vinyl, but even I'm sure it sounds very powerful, even the original recording. Whereas for actually Exit Stage Left, I actually own the original CD release, like the one that came out probably like in the late 80s, because the original album came out in
Wow.
81. So I own actually the original CD pressing, and it doesn't sound that good in comparison to All the World's a Stage, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's almost like the has more of a perfect sound,
Yeah.
which sometimes it's difficult when it sounds perfect. You think it's done, but maybe you over mastered something and the raw take was actually more powerful.
I mean, yeah, and you just go through the live albums of Rush. Another one that I really like. Speaking of live shows, different stages. I mean,
Mm.
that's an incredible live compilation. 3 CDs, 3 different stages in different parts of the world. Sure, the band, this is the '90s, right? They're definitely older by then, but it just shows you how Rush had not lost one bit, even all the years later with different stages, right? And I think that's what makes the band like super special. I actually own the CD for that for different stages. It's a 3 CD thing because it basically includes a 1978 show,
Yeah.
a 1994 show, and a '97 show. I personally love the 1997 show at Tinley Park. That's
Mm.
that's the one I really dig. All along with Disc Two, as well. That includes Tom Sawyer. That Tom Sawyer live version on Disc Two is probably my favorite, like live version of Tom Sawyer. It's that good.
Oh
For
wow.
those of you that haven't heard it or want to go back and listen to it, listen to Disc Two of different stages and Tom Sawyer. It's absolutely incredible.
What strikes me about different stages is the Cygnus X1 on disc 3.
Yeah, in
That's the
'78.
only recorded Cygnus other than the album.
That's true.
They never played it or
No,
recorded it outside
it's
of
very
that
strange, huh?
one recording. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's because it's complicated and really hard to sing.
yeah,
And same with the other hemispheres.
yeah.
They There was one tour though, I think, in the '90s where they went back and did Cygnus Part Two, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I think Cygnus, like you're saying, was not a song or songs, of course, because Cygnus Part One, Cygnus, these songs were not done live very often. That's what I think makes that
Never.
that Disc Three like really special, recorded in
Yeah.
London at the Hammersmith Odeon. I actually have to
Hmm.
go back and listen to that Disc Three. I haven't heard that one in a while, but I
I need
have
to
to go
listen to
back.
all three better.
Yeah, it's a great live album. I recommend it for every Rush fan. Yeah,
Yeah. And it's
but
cool they have Cinderella Man. They probably didn't
oh
ever
yeah,
play that again after
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's a good
Uh,
one.
wait, I had another thought about All the World's a Stage versus Exit Stage Left.
Yeah,
Isn't it interesting how All the World's a Stage with the first four albums of Rush, that's all Rush was at that point.
basically, yeah,
Just those four albums. And then by the time you get to Exit Stage Left, it's still crazy that that's all that Rush was, but it's a totally different developed Rush with all these new songs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like even in the early days, Rush, was not obviously at the level it became, but it still was a lot better than what other bands were doing. I think they were still on their own musically and great. I mean, think about it. They did 2112, like 16 minutes of the song live all the way straight through. I mean that's so tough for like a young band, and they were able to
Right.
do that, which is incredible.